Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing how to break a pacifier habit with your child. So if your child is anything like mine, they took to the pacifier or binky, whatever you want to call it. We actually call it a num-num. And they just took to it right away. Both of my sons have taken to it right away, and Liam is going on 3. He will be 3 in December, and so we needed to kind of break the habit to help with teeth development and speaking and everything. So how we went about doing that was a long process. So if you're wanting to break the habit just right away, some kids are okay with that, and most kids probably are not. So I will share with you guys what we did to break the habit and how it's going now. Like I said, Liam was obsessed with the pacifier. He took to it within days of being born, if not hours of being born. And I was okay with that. I was totally fine with it. He ended up not breastfeeding, so it really didn't matter about nipple confusion. And it wasn't because of the pacifier why he didn't breastfeed. Whole long story. But, and that could be another video if you guys wanted to know the whole story. But he loved the pacifier. We used the Nook pacifiers. They were just something that I kind of gravitated towards they looked better to me. I didn't like the look of those big ones that they get from the hospital. And he didn't really like those ones. He really took to the Nook ones. So I would give it to him all the time. I had a little pacifier clip and that would clip onto him, and it just made him happy. And when you have a baby that's crying or fussy or anything, that is such a lifesaver. But as he got older, we would try to take it away from him, and sometimes he wouldn't let us. And being a first-time mom, I was like, that's fine. Just give it to him. Just make him happy. And so when he turned a year old, I tried to only have it in his bed and in the car. And he took to that really well. He didn't need it when he was walking. It was like as soon as he started walking, I didn't want him always having it because I wanted him to start talking. And he wouldn't start talking. And I don't think it had to do with the pacifier, but I kind of blame the pacifier. I really don't think it was the pacifier. It's just Liam. He was a delayed in speech, but he's totally fine now. So yeah, we would just give it to him when he wanted to go to sleep, or when we wanted him to go to sleep. And he just had a huge attachment to it. If we were at anyone's house, he wanted it. He would freak out if, heaven forbid, we didn't have it. So I knew that it was going to be a tough road, and I just would slowly start taking it away from him more and more. But he always got it in his bed, and he always got it in the car if we wanted him to go to sleep. But he wouldn't have it out in public anymore. Then we got to the point where I was pregnant with Nolan. And so he was 2. And he was only getting it when he'd go to sleep. And then we went on a vacation, and he all of a sudden got super attached to it, where he needed it all the time, and he would freak out if he didn't have it. And so I knew that having the new baby coming was probably not the best time to take it away from him. So he was able to have it way more than I wanted him to. Like, we would be out in public. So it was somewhat of a regression, which will definitely happen. They want to be a baby again, and that is something that makes them a baby again. So he was able to get it. I was letting him have it. And then I got to the point where I was fed up with the pacifier. I was done. I didn't want to have 5 of them in my bag anymore, because now I had a new baby who had pacifiers as well. And Liam would not let his new brother have any pacifiers that looked like his. So Nolan has a completely different type of pacifier. He uses a MAM instead of the Nook, and that's just how it had to be. Well, I was sick of it. I broke. One day I just totally broke. He was freaking out over a pacifier, and he was over 2. I was like, no, we are done. So this was a few months ago. It was like maybe 4 months ago when I started the actual process of breaking the habit. And how I did that was, he had 5 pacifiers. 2 of them broke, is what we told him. What I did was I cut it. I cut the tip off so that when he sucked on it, it wasn't the right feeling in his mouth. And oh no, those ones broke. So he had to go and throw them in the trash. And I made him throw them in the trash so that he wasn't mad at me. And he thought they broke. So we started slowly doing that, where he wasn't allowed to have it out and about. He could only have it when he was sleeping in his bed. And each time one pacifier would break. I'd give it a couple of days, another one would break, to the point where we were down to one. And that one, I gave it to him for a little while with no breaking. Then it would slowly start breaking, but he was old enough to realize that if it broke, he couldn't have it anymore. So what he would do, he would be okay with it being broken. So as I'm cutting it down, we got down to almost nothing, where it wouldn't even fit in his mouth at all, and he wanted it still. So I once again kind of snapped one day when he wanted it. I'm like, Liam, it's broken. Look at it. It doesn't even fit in your mouth. I want like he wanted it. So I'm like, okay, fine. You have it. He ended up holding it instead of having it in his mouth. So I told him the next day, we're done with pacifiers. You're a big boy. We don't need this anymore. We need to take this and we need to throw it away. But what he wanted to do was cut it himself. So the little tiny bit of plastic or silicone left, he took scissors, he cut it himself, and then he threw it in the trash can. Now, he didn't want to throw it in the big trash can. He threw it, I think, in our kitchen trash. And then the next day was trash day. So we told him, okay, it's in the trash can now. And he was totally fine with it, which was shocking. Like that night, he didn't ask for it. For two or three more days, he never asked for it. And I was like, oh, success. We did it. But no. Come the like fourth or fifth day, he started realizing, wait, I don't have this. Now he does have a teddy bear, so he does have something with him in the bed, but he realized, oh, I want my num num is what we call it. So he was like, num 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 num. I'm like, the big trash can took it. That kind of didn't go over too well at first, but he eventually realized like, oh, it's like nowhere in the house. I can't even dig it out of the trash. I can't go dumpster diving for it. It took about a week for him to be completely okay with it. Like he didn't ask for it anymore. And now we're probably about 2 months since we did that official like end to it. And the only time that he ever mentions it is when he's completely like throwing the biggest tantrum ever. He asks for it one time. I tell him, no, we don't have it anymore. The big trash can took it, and then he's done. So that is really what worked for us to get rid of the pacifier. And like I said, he is almost 3. It took that long for us to get to this point because I had a new baby coming. We had potty training. A lot happens in their life. And that is what worked for us. Now, if your child doesn't take well to the breaking of pacifiers, I have heard a few different stories of different things that you could do. So one of them, I heard that you take all of the pacifiers, you put them in an envelope, and you mail them. So you pretend mail, obviously, but they get to put it in the mailbox. You are mailing them to another baby that needs them. I have heard that actually worked for a few people that I know. And then another one was that that child's pacifiers go to the new baby. This would totally have not worked with Liam. I'm not sure if this is something that really works, but I have heard someone that I know did this with their child. So the new baby gets the pacifiers. So they're handing them down, kind of like they do with clothes and everything, but they're handing the new pacifiers because now they are the big kid and they're giving them to the new baby. So those are a few different types of ways to cut the pacifier habit. If you guys have done something different and it worked for your family, leave it down below so maybe we can help out other families going through this, because I know I'm not the only one. This cutting of the pacifiers had to be done for my brother way back like 16 years ago, and it worked. It totally worked. Cutting them, when they don't see you cutting them, they think it just broke. Worked awesome for Liam. So there you guys go. That is how we cut the pacifier habit for my toddler. Now, I do have a baby who does have a pacifier, so I'm totally okay with them. It is possible to break the habit. You just have to keep trying, find what works, and it will happen eventually. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that little bell next to it so you can be notified about all my videos that I put out. I put out a video Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.